Hello everyone, welcome to the second Casual Watch Talk live. You're joined by Sam and Chris from Casual Watch Talk, and we have two special guests, Tim and Marco. So welcome everyone, thanks for joining us. So Tim, I mean, you're an old pro at this live streaming, but do you want to introduce yourself for people that might not know who you are?
Well, I don't know if how would I even introduce myself. I usually go by Tim Wright, and I have a website. So I don't know, man. I've been doing these live streams for about 151 episodes.
So 18 years. Cool.
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah. Well, almost daily. We've been me and Marco, the Watch Cardinal, right below me, have been doing these like 6 months straight, nonstop. Just kept going at it. Yeah. We're both wristwatch collectors, but for me, I'm just, I got lucky with the AD, so I'm like a Rolex enthusiast. Unfortunately, awesome. But it is what it is.
Marco, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Marco. I'm the Watch Cardinal. I stream pretty much every day, either on my channel, on Tim's channel, or of course our guy JJ over at the Gentleman's Hangout. So yeah, we pretty much every day are either doing streams on our channel or of course on Archie Luxury as well. Yeah, it's just a fun, good time, talk watches. We have a great camaraderie together. We like to, be a pain in each other's side, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
We love talking politics. It's the best.
Well, no politics. Chris and I avoid that. We stirred up enough trouble with my comments on homage watches, which maybe we'll do a separate live stream topic.
I'm definitely ready to get into that.
Yeah. So, Chris, I think Tim and Marco bought some new viewers. So, do you want to plug your Instagram and your?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm Chris, and over on Everyday Mastery. I'm got into the hobby. I'm a Seiko modder, but also love watches, love collecting stuff, and love mechanical stuff. I come at it from an engineering standpoint. So I've got cars and watches. So I either make a watch analogy to my car people and they look at me funny, or I make a car analogy to watch people and they maybe get it. So a little bit of that. We're gonna do a car shirt check.
Oh yeah.
We spoke a little bit about which car is which watch yesterday on the live.
That's good. That's fun.
It was crazy.
Or even there's, and you could just, I feel like you could walk into that conversation casually. You'd be like, oh yeah, so Rolex is totally like BMW, right? Yeah. And they're just and then people are like, no, it is not. So
everyone's got their
it's good. No, it's good, but it's good discussion. It's good, that's what I enjoy. Good, good discussion about it, and just kind of right, exactly, and just be like, all right, and then especially depending on your audience. You'll get we were talking about European different brands from Europe that are super popular Certina, etc. And it's someone thinking about Certina, is going to have a different opinion versus Peugeot. If I ask someone from America what a Peugeot is,
I have no idea what that is.
right.
Oh,
it's like those micro brands that Marco always talks about.
Oh no, Peugeot's massive in Europe.
Exactly.
Car brand. Yeah, huge.
Exactly.
It's got the little lion for all the Peugeot fans out there. And anybody who's doesn't know me, Sam from the Casual Watch Reviews channel. I mainly review watches sort of in the $500 to $1,000 range. Sometimes a bit of Rolex, sometimes a bit of Patek if I can get hold of it. But yeah, so welcome to the live stream, everyone. Well, should we do a wristwatch check? Try and break the ice, kick these things off. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Marco's ready. Do you want to go first?
He was
we're going around the panel. Okay, I guess I could start. I'm wearing the 126710 BLNR. I like to call it the Bruce Wayne, but it's better known, I guess, as the Batgirl in certain spaces. And it's what I'm wearing on the wrist.
Nice.
Tell them the story behind that watch, because it's gonna blow their mind.
Yeah, so for guys who don't know, I guess, who have never watched kind of my channel, Tim's channel. So I was doing a live stream on my channel on my birthday, actually, and people started asking like, listen, where can we, send you money for your birthday? And I was like, well, like I have a PayPal link, but you don't have to send me anything. And one thing led to another, and the community ended up raising that night and the next day a little over $20,000 got sent to me. And
they bought him that watch.
And then a fan of the channel actually sold me this at retail from his AD. So yeah, this is the watch the community got from me, which is
it's incredible.
Wow,
it's the most special watch in my collection.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's every single. Yeah, good.
I was going to say we started live streaming well too late. We should have.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Pre-recorded it.
I mean, listen. I will say this. That night is so special. We have so many fond memories of it because it's like lightning in a bottle. You had to be there to really experience it.
Right.
It was just crazy. It was really crazy.
Yeah, and it's good. And it's good that you're, I would continue to be like start every live stream with like, first I'd like to thank everyone.
Right.
Like, thank you, and so yeah, it's a great story. Great story.
Amazing.
I guess it would have only been better if you'd bought it from the Timepiece Gentleman, like pre-drama.
Like a crossover. It's a crossover episode. Oh,
The ultimate YouTube watch.
Right.
For my
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
No. So Tim, do you want to go next?
How about let's do let's do one each. Let's go. Let's do Chris, and then I'll go. And then
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got the Bell and Ross BR 92. I'll take it off.
Okay. Yeah.
BR 92 GMT. This is it's kind of my staple piece there.
Okay. Very nice. Oh,
Thank
it looks
you.
like it's a GMT, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. It's the GMT.
very cool.
It's Bell and Ross's sort of foray, their vintage collection, but it's their foray into round, not square. So I mean, I kind of, a lot of people just know them for their square watches, but they've definitely been. They're all they've got quite a collection, and so this was a piece that I picked up for my current promotion job about 3 years ago, and it totally is like GMT for me. I'm an IT admin, so I mean, yesterday we were doing an ISP change, and someone was looking at logs, and they're like, "It says they're at 12 a.m. tomorrow," and I'm like, "Hi," and you just look down, and you're like, "Yep, okay, I got it." Like I know what time it is in your world. So.
Nice.
Yeah, nice piece for me. It sort of exemplifies like what it's like. It's still after a bunch of years. It's sort of like I feel like it says who I am. Mm-hmm. And last night went to a watch meetup for the first time since pandemic. It was amazing. 18 months. Got to hang out with the OC Chrono, the Chrono Group guys down here in Southern California.
Oh, you're from California.
Yeah. And had this on the wrist because I think like it's one of those ones is like I always have it, and sort of like with masks on and stuff, you're like, oh, I know who that is, that kind of thing. But everybody was safe, and we had a great time, and definitely. Wow. So shout out to the OC Chrono, the Chrono Group guys down in SoCal. They're on Instagram, Chrono Group. So check those guys out if you're in the area. They have meets every month, and it's a blast. So definitely having a good time.
Oh, that's cool because we do have a lot of people over there from Cali who are watching the streams. So
cool. Yeah. Nice.
Awesome. So I'm wearing my Rolex Explorer 2.
Oh, nice.
The polar dial.
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting used to this watch, but once I fell in love with it, I'm kind of known for this watch. I mean, it used to be a total dog when I got it, and that's why I really liked it because of that, because it's the Rolex.
How long ago? How long ago did you pick it up?
It's about 4 years.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I feel like 3.5, 4 years ago, people were just like, "Oh, okay, that's nice." It was very like the weird Milgauss guy.
Yeah, it was when I got it. I could have got it used for $2,000 under retail.
I know.
Yeah,
right.
and
now it's like Polar GMT.
Caught up. Yeah,
what are you doing?
It's going over. I mean,
right.
And it was something that also really helped me out to buy with my AD relationship. So nice. I'm really blessed to have this watch. I think, and it's also, man, it's the white dial. I don't know. It's just that white dial.
Yeah.
It's incredible, but I also love the new one from the 21. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'll finalize this off. I've got a which I've been wearing like a lot. It's a Christopher Ward. The camera won't focus because I've got it kind of fixed, but it's the Christopher Ward C60 600 meter like blue diver. It's got their like light catcher case, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I've reviewed a few. Like Christopher Ward, Mike France has been on the channel a couple of times, and I've reviewed a few of their models, but I'd never owned one because the ones that I'd reviewed had always been, well, the first one I reviewed had always been like a tad too big for me, and I didn't realize that. I didn't look at these divers because I didn't realize they did them in different sizes. I just thought they were all like 42 millimeters and that was it. But they do them in 3 different sizes. So they had a sale where they were selling off all the returns. So I managed to pick this up for like $700, which is not bad for a Salita SW200. I really like it. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. Like Chris knows, I'm like buying and selling watches all the time. I'm never like fully happy with any, but this one I feel content with.
Plus, like last night, the main topic of discussion last night was all of the either successful or poor purchasing decisions you made during the pandemic. Was just like, so, you know, like, what did you buy that was a huge mistake, like in April? And then what did you sell? And then what did you buy again? And then what did you pick up? Like, you know, it's pretty funny. It's just like every time for the last 6 months, every time Sam and I would talk about this, but like every time we click buy, it would just be like panic. Like, am I making correct decisions with the future of my life? Just like pandemic purchasing.
Community.
Yeah.
All for the community.
Yeah.
Did anybody have a great story about that, Chris? Did anyone just go big and like buy like a really super expensive Patek or something?
No, a couple of like people were pretty reasonable pickups. And then we were all kind of discussing how like we had a bunch of folks that like wanted something that was able to pick it up for pennies. You know, like I picked up a Zin 104 white dial like in May, used on eBay for like $700, and that's an easy $1,100 watch. I mean, 1,200 new, something like that. Yeah. And everybody was just kind of like, "How did you get that for $700?" And I was like, "It was May." You know, and so stuff like that, where it's like, oh, I bought it. You know, it's like as the time went by, that the market just zooped right up. So
everybody's panic selling.
Yeah, a couple of hits and misses, and then and then even I sold some stuff too. So it was like, yeah, you know, a good old existential crisis for your watch collection. It's perfect. It's good.
I don't know anybody who hasn't gotten a COVID watch, to be honest. Like Tim, I got the Sub, right? I got the 11406. So Tim, you got the Explorer. I mean, yeah.
Explorer 1.
Nice. This is that was the Zin 104. It's tough with the white dial and bright lights, white dial.
Unless you have a macro lens.
I know, right? Yeah,
that's why I have the macro lens.
Oh, there you go. I know you had to go like
with an right, yeah. It is. You can hear it hunting for focus. Right. It takes a while because it's a very cheap macro lens.
Right. 6 minutes later, you're like, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. Yeah. But
yeah, sorry, Chris, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, I think everyone has a pandemic pickup for sure.
By the way, we're lucky that Marco didn't panic sell the pizza slice because he has a watch that he's been trying to sell it for a while, but it could have been a panic sell, right? In some ways.
See, Tim, I didn't even put it like I bought it. It's the Hamilton Ventura Elvis 80. I bought it about 5 years ago, so it's like a triangle shape and. The guys in our live stream, they bug me all the time. They call it the pizza slice, right? So it's a good gag that we have going around. But, you know, like I bought that watch with my brother and my cousin. We actually all went to a Hamilton AD and bought a watch that day. So it's just like a cool memory to have. So I'm like I want to sell it, but I'm hesitant to even put it online for sale. Because like I almost don't want to part with it, even though I never wear it. You know, it's that kind of thing. Like. Let's just let it rest for a bit. You know? I'll come back to it eventually.
Right.
I think it's got harder to sell watches at the moment because I've got a Omega X33 that I've put on Chrono 24. And it's it's reasonably priced and stuff. It's not crazy. It's got the full box and struggling to sell it. And a few like ones that I'd had him for review that stuff on eBay.
Yeah,
Didn't-
I think I also feel like the not the, I don't want to call them fringe pieces, but like the stuff that maybe the watch nerds appreciate more, that stuff is not really moving as much as sort of the normal everyday stuff. So the market's kind of this weird, like, well, why would I buy this weird neo vintage chronograph when I just fight for this auction for this new thing? And so it's very like hit or miss as far as like what's being sold. It took me a while to sell a couple of mine, and everyone was like, the watch market's crazy, and you're like, all right, well, someone needs to make a bid on this.
And especially I think like right now that mid tier that between, like you guys said, between $500 and maybe like $1,500, there's so many new high quality watches that are coming out.
Right. Yeah.
Like ceramics.
It's right. It's that,
everything.
and it's that strange, like it's that strange. And I see this again, car analogy. I see this with cars where you're like, where the 15-year-old sports cars are now like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, and you're like, guys, why would you buy a 14-year-old car for $30,000 when one that's 3 years old is 40? Like, just save your money and get the one that's 3 years old.
Yeah.
And that's the same sort of stuff I think is happening with watch. So like, it's like the new, they want, you want new Rolex, you want new, new stuff, and you should,
New
like,
Omegas, new
the
Aura.
Omegas.
Did you see the new Tissot?
Tissot?
Whew.
Which one are we talking about?
The
which one are we
PRX.
talking? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know who's got one, and they said it's just a tad too big for them. But I was saying that that Tissot PRX is it's them pointing a finger at Timex, and they're like, Timex, you're drunk, go back.
Stay in your
doing
lane,
with
Timex.
vintage. Yeah, stay in your lane. We'll do a 70s watch. Like,
Right.
this is what a 70s watch looks like.
But
Yeah.
I think actually like the Royal Oaks, they were really big. So it is
Yeah.
because of that integration, it's gonna wear big, even though the dial is not.
Yeah,
because it's
I like
almost
it.
square, right? Because it's got so much space for the integration.
Yeah, I have seen one. I really like. I'd really have one. And then they released the quartz, didn't they? And everyone's like, I hope they do a mechanical. And then they did a
Cuts it even
mechanical.
half the price, $300.
I know, it was crazy. I bought a Rolex recently, but I basically sold some crypto, and I'm like, what do I want to invest in? So I bought a.
Here we go.
Yeah.
But now,
Millionaires.
Yeah. He was day trading.
we got some.
He was day
glad I
trading.
sold.
Yeah.
I'm glad I sold the Dogecoin. Have you seen it now? I
Jesus.
sold it at like 42 cents. It's like 17 cents. a piece.
It's tanked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy that was the Dogecoin millionaire, and he had like 3 million, and then he like live streamed on Saturday Night Live, and then as soon as Elon Musk like didn't mention it, did you see that? He's like his crypto just went down.
Yeah.
He was at $3 million, and he's like, I'm diamond handing this thing, I'm holding it. Like, all right, dude.
I tried it. I tried diamond handing with Marco. It's too much stress. I couldn't handle it. My hair was falling out.
Oh,
Tim did
Like-
have the iron stomach. Yeah, we did a couple of the meme stocks. I did very well in AMC and a couple others. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I lost
funny.
like $200. Thank you,
Oh,
Marco.
wow.
Tim, I made like Tim. I came out like a king. I made like 150%. Anyways, that's another topic for another day.
Well, exactly. That's why I did it. I kind of sold crypto, and I was like, I'll buy a Rolex and see which one goes up because it'd make like a good video. So I'm just too afraid to wear the Rolex now. It's only an OP blue dial, but I'm like too
very
afraid
nice.
to, like, in case I scratch it. But
Don't be
in
afraid
fact,
to wear it.
I know.
It's a
I know.
Rolex.
No,
It's a steel
Everybody.
Rolex. You'll be fine.
Yeah. It's
Look at
I'm
it.
going on the hike
goes for
with
Guys.
my
I still wear it
Explorer
every
1.
day.
Guys, you need to we need to get together, and like you need to help me because I
Like an intervention.
want to get over to Sam's house and scratch his Rolex so that he just wears
Let's go. Where does he
it.
live?
Come on, let's go. He's over in
I'm in
Florida.
Orlando now, actually.
Yeah.
So
Orlando.
I'm in
Oh, yeah.
Florida.
Okay.
But
This has the polished kind of buckle, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
So no scratches. You'll be
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Brush steel is really good. I got the sub. I
Yeah.
sub and put a dent in it.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
They did the same thing with the Tudor. He did the same thing with the Tudor. So
Yeah, I
it's
did.
a long
But
story.
The AD who sold me the OP, he's been on the channel on the podcast a couple of times, so we'll definitely get him on a live stream. Justin, like, not only does he know his stuff about Rolex, but we just did a great Tudor video because he used to be Tudor reseller, so he went all through the history and like the trends of what people were buying and what he thought like the next big one. Because I was sort of saying to him about the gold one that I was like, "God, that's a bit of a miss, isn't it?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Watch that one."
Yeah, we were kind of poo-pooing the gold. We're like, "Oh, gold, that green with the gold," and he's like, "You don't understand." He's like, "People, that's a big one, and that's gonna be a big one." I was like, "Oh, all right."
It's like Bitcoin. It's
yeah, exactly.
It pops.
Right. Yeah.
Well, do you want to? Should we do a little? Speaking of that, I know I had a topic that I was going to discuss with you guys. I know.
By the way, the entire chat is currently telling Sam to wear his watches. So just shout out to everybody. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We appreciate it.
But if they were to donate the money for me,
no, Sam, no, donate the scratches.
Somebody donated me to wear the Pepsi. That was crazy.
Yeah, Tim's got a Panda and a Pepsi that he both never wears.
No, I wear the Panda, but the Pepsi I just didn't have the opportunity to. So
yeah,
somebody super chatted me to wear it. Like I was like, okay.
Yeah. Somebody was asking me which OP it is. It's the royal blue they call it, not the Tiffany blue. It's
gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and we won't wear it, guys. So give him.
We're not. Moving swiftly on.
Hiking.
Yeah. No, I like my rule is like power tools.
Yeah.
So like if I'm in the garage and I'm operating power tools, I will take my watch off. Other than that, like it's there. Like just it's life. And then you can, and then like I want it like I'm the guy that like I want the cool like you see this? Yeah, see the gouge right there? Yeah. So we were on the side of the highway and like the car's on 3 wheels and then I had to dig the thing out of the dirt. I mean like that's the kind of that's the story I want.
Speaking of that, I have a ding where I bumped it against. I was in Paris and there was a girl walking towards me and we bumped watches together.
Oh,
so I remember that.
So you got a friend in
with
Paris.
The ding, there you go. Yeah,
a friend in
Every
Paris.
time I look, I remember the good times I had in Paris.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow,
that's what you have to wear. If I didn't wear it to Paris, it wouldn't be as visceral.
That's right.
Yeah,
I was feeling really bad when I think it was like no.
Oh yeah, no. It's the first scratch in the car. Come on, it's like when you get one like right in the center of the hood, and you're like, "Jeez, what? Who does
the precious memories. If you wear your watch in London, it sounds like the precious memory live with the person that steals it from you.
Right. Jesus. Yeah, knock on wood.
I
got this dink when I like hit something.
Yeah, he's telling your story. Yeah, he's telling your story. Yeah, I picked this up in France.
This is the tooth mark of the guy that I punched with it. Like,
God.
Well,
all right, sorry.
We were speaking of that crazy COVID prices. I know, Tim, you kind of covered this, haven't you? But this flipping Patek, this Nautilus, $335,000, and it sold. I think it was like the first edition one. It's showing it on Watch Pro, but I can't get my head around that.
That's when I tell people that I have a great AD relationship, this just proves that my relationship is nothing. It's bullshit because that's the really, really good relationship. Because if your AD can sell you a sealed Patek Philippe with a green dial, 5711,
especially in modern day, because Patek sealed watches were not out of the ordinary. Dealers didn't mind like 5 years or so ago, but today it's off limits. So that's got to be a heavy hitting type of client for them to send them.
And also also the dealer who's going to, of course, take the phone call from the factory that's like, what did you just do? And you're like, he's a really good customer.
Right.
He's a really good customer.
You've got to vouch for the guy who they hate you now.
Yeah, because they're like, this isn't going to show up on the gray market, is it?
I have a conspiracy theory about that, and think about this. It was picked up. Now there is genius marketing, like Timepiece Gentleman, that everybody thought he was genius. Okay, it was not genius. Now this kind of thing could be genius marketing. Like, think about it. They can leak one of these watches, let it sell on the auction for incredible price, and they don't have to do anything. Look, it's free advertising.
Yeah, and they never never have to send that expensive wooden box ever again because people only want that plastic saran wrap. Like, no, we don't want the wooden
Exactly.
box. We just want the plastic vacuum seal bag. Like, okay.
I was actually
asked for
saying
it.
the same thing about the blue Snoopy because
Oh,
the blue
yeah.
Snoopy, what happened was there was like one on David SW for like $45,000.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, like, how can there be just one? Wouldn't it be genius for Omega to just leak one to David SW through some friend of a friend of a friend of a coworker?
Yeah.
This is
And then-
Tim's conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I
love it.
love doing
He's,
this.
guys,
you know,
guys, he's just asking questions. He's
yeah,
just
I don't
asking
know.
questions.
Yeah, those people who watch me, they know that I'm not like a watch expert. I don't know all the references numbers, but I like to think about these things in a really fun way. And to me, I feel like, man, wouldn't that be genius? Because what happens,
Yeah.
you leak one on the gray market, and that solidifies its over retail price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. They put one at 40, and then everybody found out. Now the rumors news circulated around the internet, and then
Yeah.
whoever got the second one, well, they're not gonna list it for 20,000. They'll list it somewhere close to that David SW price.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's just
I mean,
my.
this is not far fetched. I mean, this is happening over at Bring a Trailer for Cars. So you get like one super clean NSX with 3,000 miles, right? That just sold for, I don't know, like $200,000, right? A couple months ago. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like regular NSX that has like 85,000 miles on it is suddenly like double the price.
Right.
It just lifts the whole
There you go.
industry up. And I will say, to your conspiracy, Tim, I mean, I feel like the dealers know and the company knows. Like, it's funny how they're like, oh, you know, we're selling watches and we don't know how these got on the gray market. And you're like, yeah, if you're a smart manufacturer, you totally know. Like, you're shopping them, you're figuring.
If
yeah.
you're a smart seller, you would do
Right.
this kind of thing.
Yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
Mr. GMT, thank you so much. It's
Love
this
you,
the
man.
guy who we probably wouldn't be doing these live shows if he wasn't like telling us like, oh, because we
Nice.
started doing these live streams and we had like 10 people watching. He was like, guys, you have to keep doing it. It's great.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's been like since day one, he's been encouraging us. So he's
That's
really-
great. That's great.
Well, that leads to another topic I was going to ask you about. You mentioned with Paul Thorpe the other day, you're thinking of doing a 24-hour sort of watch news channel. I don't think that's that crazy, but I mean,
Look,
Chris and I will do a slot.
I'll tell you guys about this. So I had this. We talked about this way before, right, Marco?
Right, about a couple of weeks ago now.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I think I
Actually, last
mentioned
week, I
this
think.
probably a couple of months ago as well.
Oh, yes, it's true. But then
Yeah, it's
obviously
just-
we had a viewer who mentioned it.
It was
2 months
just-
ago.
I just said it as like one of my conspiracy theories, but now it's more realistic than ever because we have like this sound foundation right at the 7 o'clock where Archie Luxury does his live stream, and because he's been doing it already for a year, so there's a lot of viewers who come online to watch Archie Luxury show, and there's a slot before Archie and there's a slot after Archie because these people they want to warm up. And at the end, they also want to continue watching, and so we've been like kind of alternating, doing a show like, between 5 and 7. This is New York time, or like after 8 until 10, sometimes 11, sometimes even 12. But 12 New York time is still 8 o'clock over in Cali,
That's right. Yeah.
and so our good friend Cardinal Corner, he was like, guys, I still got like after you finish your show, I got like nothing to do. I got 4 hours before I go.
Let's
to
go
sleep.
party. Yeah, let's go out. I got time to. Yeah, we got stuff to do.
We're at the point where our pre-show and after show they're pretty strong, and so we can kind of build out into the kind of the periphery. We can do what we call a pre-show. That's between 3 o'clock to 5 slot. And then somebody can do it 12 to 3, So, and as we have more people, we can kind of close the circle.
Right.
Just close the circle, guys.
The only problem is 24 hours See, it wouldn't only be watches because 24 hours of watch news. I'm sorry to say, but the watch world isn't that exciting. There's not that much news going on in a year that we can run a 24 hours.
We had all our news in 2-week period.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
3 years worth of news in
Right.
a 2-week period.
I feel like we could talk about that for at least a year. Yeah.
But the point that was mentioned was we got like such great camaraderie and community between each other that, you know, we could talk about anything. And that's really what our streams have become. Like we'll start off talking about watches and, you know, we'll go to topic X or Y or Z.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't, there's no real, we come in with a plan, but the plan goes away within like 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So what we need like a team of streamers who would pick up after each other kind of thing. So that's kind of the plan.
Yeah, I don't think it's that crazy, you know.
No.
I think not that I was implying it was crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
Like in the
It's not
realm
that
of
bad.
crazy.
yeah, in the well, because we're all
Yeah.
slightly crazy doing this hobby anyway, aren't
Yeah.
we? So
Yeah.
it's not that. Speaking of live streams, I was looking on timwright.com and I didn't realize that you were like the unofficial Archie luxury merch guy. Like that's some crazy merch you've got. That the Simpsons character, which I think is behind Marco.
well, it's-
Archie luxury is just. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Did Archie did he put you up to that, or did you
no,
just
well,
go
I
and-
had the website, right? And I had the merch store. I've been paying to like I have it. I just didn't have anything on there. And
Yeah.
one of the viewers saw on my website, saw that I have a market. There was just nothing on there. He said, "Can we put something on there?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I can." You know, if I had art, I could
Design,
easily
yeah.
put it on a T-shirt, on a poster, or a mug,
Yeah.
and we can sell it. And he's like, "Well, why don't you do it?" I'm like, "Well, it costs like $150 to commission like a good quality artwork." So he's like, "That's not a problem." So he sent me $100, and I commissioned that artwork. Like, it took us 2 revisions, so it was like 150 at the end. It was a simpler one, and then once I got the hang of like how to commission work, then we got the good one, and we put it in the store. Yeah. So yeah, we can put anything now.
So is it a good seller, the Archie with the? You've got a couple of Archie ones, haven't you? And
Yes.
then you've got the Simpsons
got
one. I think was
mugs
the
as well. We got everything. Yeah, we got.
Actually,
We're
me see.
diversifying what we're offering, you know.
The
But
merch.
it's good.
The merch.
I'm gonna actually share the screen. 1 second, I'll show
Oh
you.
yeah, there we go.
Well, that's just hold on.
Oh,
It's not.
Do you want me
It's
to
not
remove
it.
that?
It's not it. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm not sure what this is, but okay. So here we go. So
You want me
if
to
you
add
go
that?
to shop, there's actually 2 stores. So we got this one. Oh yes, this was a pretty crazy commission. We got the community. It's kind of hard to see, but it was so because that was the word yesterday, and this is just
It's
a
the
viewer
newest
sent it
buzzword,
to me.
right?
Yeah, the buzzword. He
The
sent me
community
3.
hates timepiece gentlemen. The community.
Oh, Archie with his "I am the
right.
community, I am the law."
You know, it was he sent me 3, and it was like one said hope, second was community, and the third
Oh,
was
yeah.
timwright.com.
Oh, the Hope one's the Obama one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of a meme. It's so good. And this was the first. This is Archie with the boats, plane, and the money. It's kind of. Let me see. Can I make it bigger?
There you go.
There we
he
go.
is.
So we have a luxury version for our more for our premium customers, and then we got like a cheap one, the synthetic and the cotton, of course. There's some t-shirts. I've been trying out. Like this is just like desktop background. So
Oh yeah.
it's just trying stuff out. There's 4 images here. It's free. Also, now here's what's interesting. So these desktop backgrounds. So we have these. This one. This is the most famous one. Now that
That's
was
my
a
favorite.
limit.
Yeah, this-
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
his
You
everything.
got
And this
everything, right?
man, this was a hell amount of work to get this done. But man, this was the first one, as you can see. Very
Yeah.
still detailed, but it's not.
It doesn't sell
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
that
that,
right,
was the, that was
exactly.
the final. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was when I got the hang of it, how to commission, how to point out, how to tell the guy, okay, I need you to add something there. Then we got the 2 Birkins, obviously, and then when Archie
Louis bag box.
I know,
yeah,
right?
The Louis
unfortunately,
box.
the whole
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Well, he
this
sold
was-
that, didn't he? And then he regretted
Yes.
it for it.
Well, he got it.
Or pawned it.
The community bought Archie the Louis Vuitton box.
Right.
Oh, did they? Because I remember he had one where he sold it, didn't he?
Yeah, no, that was a different box. This was a watch box, the Louis Vuitton box. Yeah. So we have the posters. It was the funding successful to celebrate.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, it's and I basically I can put whatever people want. So if your community has any requests, I can always put merch on here.
Oh, there
So
you go.
there's a second merch store. By the way, this is a little bit different one, but here we have some Make Me a Marco. We got the watch Cardinal, as you can see, double fisting Rolex. Now I don't know if you guys know this meme, the Make Me a Marco meme, but I can.
You make me a Marco. You make me a moderator right now, or I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realize it was explicit. Well, someone threatened to kick his ass if he won't make him a Marco. So we kind of we turned it into a T-shirt. We're kind of trying to have some fun, and I like this because it's got a meme within the meme. Well, yeah, it's all for the community, guys. You know.
Cool.
Yeah, because I do have to pay for the website, so it does help out with the bills.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to ask you about the other story that I had was about Hodinkee and their like summer watches, but I thought it would be a good topic, but then I read through their article and it was like, oh, these are summer watches, but we happen to sell them all. Like,
yes.
Oh, okay.
It's the watches we currently have that you could use in summer.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the watches that we're struggling to sell out of, and it was one of those. I'll flash it up here just so that everyone can see what I was talking about. But I was like, oh, this will be a good topic, like summer watches, and then it was like, oh, these are the limited.
Yeah, those are all gone.
Because the thing is, they're all ones you can't either that they can't sell out of, or you just can't buy them. So this one's sold out. This one's completely sold out.
Pete from Not So Obvious Watches called these guys out on this. Like they did this again. Like they called them out. He called them out on like a month ago, and here they are again, being like, "All right, well, we're just reporting on the fact that you can't buy these, but they're in our store." You know, and you're just like, "Come on, guys, what are you made this? You did this."
I mean, as Marco, like since they were acquired by LVMH, it's just. They're not really. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like that one.
That's what we got. Yeah.
Bravo. Bravo.
That's what actually I'm planning to do in the near future.
Sell out. I'm going to sell out at some point.
Sell my website.
Everything must go.
God. Yeah.
Well, first of all, you've got to do super deadpan interviewing famous people, but look completely disinterested in their watches. You got to sit there and with LeBron or whoever, and just be completely disinterested in their watch collection. I mean, that's their real secret sauce at Hodinkee. Oh, you've got this one of a kind Rolex. Oh, that's nice.
I mean, I'm sure they get these. I mean, they just have to be desensitized. Because they do the model deep dive where they have every Rolex Submariner right on a table, and every one, every single one, and you're just like if you show up to work and there's every single one on a table, you're like what gets you excited after that? Because you're like, oh yeah oh you have the Blueberry, oh yeah I got one of those, oh you got the Mill Sub, oh yeah here you go, you're like. It's just desensitized.
I'm sure it's like that for dealers also. Dealers. It's hard to actually for example, Roman Sharf made a collection review years ago, but he had all vintage stuff, like Tudor, vintage Tudor that was actually used by the military. He had an original Reverso. So they're into the really rare exotic stuff that they don't sell or see every day,
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%, you definitely become desensitized.
Yeah.
Speaking of dealers selling their watches, did you see that Anthony's selling it from Timepiece Gentleman selling his RM?
He's got
the
a
blue RM.
Listen, guys, it's not easy making a living, especially when you're a marketing genius and you talk condescendingly to your viewers about doing charity work. You know what I mean?
And
What do you think of the seriously? What do you think of this? I'm a big fan of Paul Thorpe, and I've been emailing him this week, just saying, dude, I think he's the right person to do this interview.
100%.
But and fair play to him. He went on with Archie, didn't he? And heard Archie out. I mean, there's not many people that would do that. Yeah. So, how do you think this is going to play out?
Yeah. So I mentioned this with Tim, right? And that he's been a dealer for decades, right? Significant amount of period. So you can say that he's been in touch with one or two dealers during his career, right? So he can sniff out when somebody's being disingenuous or dishonest, I'm sure, pretty quickly, especially as a watch dealer. And especially given their friends, you know what I mean? Paul has a lot. I would say Paul does have a lot to lose in this kind of interview. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, the watch community wants their pound of flesh, So if he feels like they're going to be dishonest or disingenuous, he's going to call them out. And I trust Paul to do that wholeheartedly. And I think it's going to be, it's going to be a good interview. We're going to get the answers that we're seeking for. And like you said, I think he's the perfect guy to do it.
Yeah, I've been, since the beginning, I've been in the camp of, I want to see the interview rather than not seeing. Because I think the prepared videos, they just don't do it there. And I really hope that the chat section will be turned on, because it's going to be the opportunity for the right. I don't think the community wants a fair debate, like a conversation, like we're having. The community wants a kind of a public whipping kind of situation. Right. They got their tomatoes ready, but wait, if you haven't got yours, what are you waiting for?
Right.
You gotta grab your ammunition. And look, because I think the people who are most critical, they will never going to be satisfied until something like this happens. They're just continually going after them. So I think it's necessary. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think that there's definitely people need to hear it. I know that the Reddit groups, they're only getting bigger, aren't they, instead of smaller in terms of like analyzing it. And I don't know what that says about. It's weird because we've never had so much focus on the watch review community before, have we? It's a really weird state of affairs. Like, I believe that Anthony was definitely trained. So you could tell that they were, at Nick and Sam's or whatever, and they're like, oh, we should have a go at this like media blackout, and then. So I could see like where a bad idea, and because of all of it, the people that work for him obviously don't want to.
Right, they're all yes man. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I worked when I was in the UK. I worked for companies that made some really poor decisions, but it never was public, was it? Or you have that manager that comes in with like a new idea, and then and then
we're not doing that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel. I don't know. I hope they could. I enjoy. Oh, sorry, my camera's gone off. I enjoy. I've been switched off. YouTube's banned me. No, I used to really like their content, like the stuff with the cars and all that. It was just kind of one of those things. I just guessed that it was just like, well, they're just flexing a little bit and showing off. But I did enjoy the day-to-day like dealing and how they were talking about the watches and how they were selling them. So I hope they can come back in some way. But you're right, they had to do this interview because I totally agree with you. The pre-recorded stuff is perhaps not.
I will say though, one thing I am worried about is that he's giving him a week to prepare, right? So I mean, let's be honest, the questions are going to be like, I'm pretty sure we can discern what a few of the questions are. And one thing I'm worried about is that he's just going to have these perfectly crafted statements, to just kind of say out loud, because let's be honest, he knows he needs to ace this interview, right? So he's going to definitely prepare. So that's probably the one thing that I'm worried about. But again, I think Paul is wise enough to know, when someone is being dishonest and disingenuous, especially when it's a dealer, since he's been around dealers for such a long time. So
Yeah,
I think
especially the salesman, and like that salesman, like if you are a retail salesperson and you've been doing that your whole life, you cut right through that. You
Yeah,
walk
you
into a
see
car
through the
dealership and
BS.
you're like, dude, I don't even want to deal with you right now. So I hope it's like that, where just put your script away. We're gonna talk. You know.
And I think it's gonna come through. I mean, I don't know. It's just the editing makes them, I think, look a little bit more clever than they actually are. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually I messaged Anthony on the Instagram, and he replied to me. He doesn't want to go on the live stream with somebody who tried to destroy them. And I was like, I was just reporting. What do you mean
we're
destroy
reporting
you?
you.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I watched. This is how I found your channel. I was watching a lot of you at the time, and you weren't.
Well,
I think he's getting a mis. Yeah, you were just analysing the situation. Whereas I joke that it was like Christmas for Archie, wasn't it? It was like he was just like,
He's taking it all in. Let's put it like that.
He was, and it's funny.
Yeah.
Like Paul Thorpe said something hilarious on that interview last night that kind of breezed over it. I mean, I like Archie, don't get me wrong, but he said to Archie, he says, you know, you talk bad about that many people. You know, one time you're going to get it right. You know. You know, because it was dead. It was really funny. That was a great interview. I mean, Archie did a good interview, and Paul did a good interview on that.
It was good that Paul Thorpe got him right when he woke up, so he wasn't ready. You know, he was angry, he was unprepared, and that's how we like Archie. Just
raw and unfiltered.
Two guns blazing.
Uncut.
Yeah, we've got. Yeah, so here you go. So yeah, Tim S says it there. I like the fact Paul is doing his interview live. Any mistakes said can't be edited out, which is true, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
just make sure, guys, to download the live show right after.
Oh yeah,
it airs.
record. Yeah, record that.
Yeah,
directly.
I actually I did that with
accountability purposes.
Yeah, I did that with the because I felt at the time I felt bad for like Roman Chaff because he was I felt a bit I don't know, but I just felt like he'd kind of put a lot of trust in Anthony, I felt, but anyway, it's a whole separate
No,
subject.
Yeah.
Sam, you're 100% right. At the end of the day, like, let's be honest, Timepiece Gentleman was not a huge dealer by any means, right? At least even as he might have a big social media following, right? But because compared to even Eric or Nico, he was smaller than all three of them, right? He's the smallest of the three. And to test the loyalty of somebody like Roman, who had $100 million per year business and is the one who allowed him to enter that watch inner circle, basically put his neck out on the line, said, listen, he's not a runner. I have full trust and faith. And then it comes out that he's laughing. You know, he's almost breaking their necks practically at the live stream that Roman did with Eric and Nico.
Scandal video that showed them behind the scenes sending the messages and like giggling.
Right. It was all a big gag to them. And I felt, to me, I felt really bad for Roman. 100%.
Roman said like, well, this is better be good. And it was bad. It was horrible.
Yeah, I think Roman's done right, isn't he? He made that one statement when he was on holiday, which you could tell he didn't want to. He didn't want to do, and then he's kind of left it from there, and he's gone back to his normal kind of day to day content. So
I don't think you're going to hear much of Timepiece Gentleman on Roman's show anymore. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah,
unless this interview goes well. If it goes moderately or bad, I think it's done. This might be the last, because I do think they kind of stabilized with the last video they did. There wasn't any like mistakes.
No. Yeah, they were back to their own good, and then they kind of filtered in like the little bits of the explanation, but throughout the video, didn't they? He didn't like belabor the point. And I thought it was quite interesting because he did into like how he knew the people and how they came to be his staff and stuff like that. I mean, what do you think? I guess a good question is, what do you think he could say that would turn the community back round? What do you think he could?
Just
I think the time for work,
sobbing camera on the open camera, like crying on camera. Just like,
me and Tim have been very fortunate
Yeah.
to have O'Sheen from the Timeless Watch channel on our live stream. And he said, there's not much else that we can really hear from Anthony or Marco for that matter, or anybody else from Timepiece Gentlemen that we probably haven't already heard or we think that they're thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's time for actions. You know what I mean? We just want to see you act differently.
Yep.
I said they need to. I think they need to do two things, because in their apology video, I don't know if you guys seen my analysis, but they apologized for all the wrong things. They probably didn't know what it is that people were pissed at them about. Like
it was kind of all over the map. There was they kind of hit it like we think you're mad about this. Yeah, we think you're mad about this, and like the whole everyone's like, no, we're not mad about that. We don't care about that.
Guys, you don't even know what you're apologizing for the wrong thing. Yeah. So I think that's number one. Mm-hmm. And number two is I think there will be a probation period where they're actually going to have to show all the receipts to see that they're actually doing stuff that they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like, if they're going to give away the watch, they probably, for the community's sake, they're going to have to put it on their website, who got it, like some kind of evidence. Mm-hmm. Because nobody freaking trusts them right now. Mm-hmm. They're saying that we're going to sell these.
They're at zero.
We'll still give them we're still going to give the money to charity, but unless I see proof, I wouldn't take your word for it. Like, at least for the next 6 months.
Yeah, like they have to take the money to the charity or take a check to the charity from the I always wondered whether, when they were auctioning off those Rolexes, Chris and I were discussing at the time whether Rolex might get in trouble with Rolex themselves, because they're kind of using their name to promote a charity, trying to promote their charity work. And also, Chris, we were saying at the time, weren't they, that it's a secret. It's not a secret, but Rolex don't want to admit that their watches are selling many times over retail, do they? That in their mind, the Daytona is 12,500 or whatever, isn't it? That's the price. That's
they want the straight face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So then to kind of use the fact that the market is so crazy at the moment, especially on that Tiffany blue one, as look how crazy the market is. This is all going to a charity. I wonder how Rolex would feel about that.
I know as has happened with Ferrari. Like if you do charity stuff and you're and you just start using their logos and their branding and you're like, oh, we're giving away a Ferrari and all this stuff, and then they will call you and be like, no, you're not. They are the decider. So I'm sure there's some line, depending on what they end up doing. There's some line that you could easily cross where it's okay, you said the quiet parts out loud. We're not supposed to say it's worth this much, but you just said on this show, or you're just advertising that this is this, and things like that that you're just and then even more fraught with danger, because dealer relationships, selling the actual product. I mean, you got to just it's a two-way street there.
I think it also has to do with them protecting their brand image. It's not so much what they're giving away, it's who's giving it away is probably the most important. And especially given Timepiece Gentlemen is in view, very favorably, especially by, people who are customers of their own brand. That would probably be the biggest issue and the biggest kind of hill to climb.
Also, I mean, Timepiece Gentleman has been saying that he wants to do this thing on the freaking Netflix. And I mean, I just realized a couple, after talking about it a couple, I realized, wait a minute, the Netflix, they follow completely different rules. The NFC is not going to let them show these watches. Rolex will not allow Netflix to show the watches, so it's going to be all blurred out. Right? How's this going to work?
Yeah, because don't they those reality shows the Moonshiners and the Container Wars? Don't they have to buy? They don't buy the container, do they? They have to
get permission.
The production company, the production company buys the container, don't they, or something? And then it's all like a bit of a mock bidding war, because there's something to do with they can't show that type of thing on TV. Yeah, but
if they haven't secured the rights, or any sort of, and then you also, as a producer, you don't want any advertising on your show that you're not getting money from, So I mean, it's like if a guy walks in with a Nike shirt on, and you're not, and Nike's not paying you to have a guy in your store with a Nike shirt on, that's just going to be a blur. So you're just like, so it's like you just the establishing shot of the like guy with the shirt, and the shirt's blurred, and then you scroll down to the watches and the thing, and that's all blurred out. And you're like,
Yeah, look at this amazing watch right here, and it's like all blurred out. Like,
yeah,
exactly. Somebody put porn stars will show a Rolex, but they won't lean in on it.
Yeah,
but
like
from
far away, they'll just say, "Oh, it's a Rolex."
Yeah.
They won't zoom in to prove.
Right. It won't be an ad. It won't be an ad level content. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Roman, that Grey Market show, he's filming that like a Netflix, isn't he? I don't know who his camera guy. Well, sometimes
as if they got the permission to use it, though. Like,
yeah.
But they also have a bigger budget than Times Gentlemen, and they have like a full dedicated staff, and so does Timepiece Gentlemen. But I mean, Roman's just a different league, and he's showing it through the Grey Market series.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're coming up to the nearly the hour mark. So, is there anything, any other last topics? Anyone? That kind of ran out. That was kind of the list that I wanted to go through. It's great to have you guys on. Anything you wanted to?
Very good. Looks very good. Yeah, I think.
I just want to say thank you for having us on. First and foremost, it's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. Hope everybody watching enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, we're gonna stay in touch regarding that 24-hour network thing.
Yes, yeah. Well, Chris can do an entire live stream on rally because his YouTube channel is Rally Cars.
That's right. That's true.
And how to prep a rally car and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
Over at Rally Notes. Yeah, I've got. I'm currently prepping an older car, bringing it back to life. So. My other racing stuff, I've got, and then the other day Sam was giving me crap because I couldn't be on a show, and I was like, sorry, I was off autocrossing. I was autocrossing the Porsche.
Usually cars are rating poison for our live stream.
Oh, really?
Everybody hates the car talk.
Oh, funny. They know going in. They know going in with us for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we'll have some overlap, because our community doesn't really know too much about cars.
This has got the element of like
over at Tim Red the
both hate cars to begin with. You know what I mean?
I don't know anything about cars, but it would be nice to have some viewers who know like a lot about cars, and then there could be a little bit more. Could be not as poisonous. So, just saying. It would
awesome.
It would be good.
Well, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks, Marco and Tim, for joining us. And we'll see you next week or on the next live stream on Casual Watch Talk. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, everybody. Take care.